I think at this point, just about everybody's familiar with Marathon, the video game that went into alpha testing, and there was a lot of mixed reviews. Some people saying that they actually dug it, usually people that were less used to extraction games versus the veterans of extraction shooters tending to say that they weren't super into the video game. But I myself thought that the artistry of this video game was super duper on point. It seemed like the artistry of this game, the motif, was super polarizing. Some people were like super into the aesthetics of the game, and other people not so much. But there's a problem with the artistry and the art direction of this video game that deserves to have a closer look at it. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Onepeg, and it looks like Bungie may have stolen the art assets that created the core of what is Marathon. The actual artistic motif of the game looks like it may have been stolen from someone that was daily posting their artwork on Twitter. For those of you relatively unfamiliar with game dev, games like the Forever Winter, for instance, video games in general have a type of aesthetic. They have design decisions that they go through, and when they do this, they draw inspiration from a ton of different places. Games like this one, the Forever Winter, have pulled inspiration from places like the Terminator or like old school 1990s era anime like the Gundam series, for example. And you can see in its art direction that it has a very specific theme and purpose. Rilo, the YouTuber, someone that has worked on large Hollywood projects in the past, has a great YouTube channel devoted toward talking about the art direction of video games. And the video that he made on the Forever Winter is one of my favorites. Now, when artists do this, they generate like vision boards or inspiration boards. They're basically just a file folder or two full of different places that they're trying to draw inspiration from. For a game like Forever Winter, it would have been like the mechanized robots and stuff that you would see in like the Terminator franchise of movies, maybe some old school like Gundam scenes, panels, cells, whatever. In the case of Bungie's Marathon, it looks like they were pulling inspiration from a very specific Twitter account. This account, Anti-Real. Anti-Real has been working on a specific type of artwork and art panels that he's been designing, so they say he or she has been designing since 2017. They even go so far as to show panels of like this piece of artwork that they generated where it's a little bit difficult to see, so I'm going to blow this up. So this panel is a piece that was made from the artist, from Anti-Real. You can see this section here that he's highlighted, this Aleph Dark Space Halage Logistics. And he goes up here and says that this was generated on 7/15 of 2017, and this is where it was originally posted. So happens the art director of Bungie, the entire franchise, follows this person on Twitter, as well as a few other people that work for Bungie. Over on this side, you can see from Marathon Alpha in-game footage. There's this panel here on the side of one of the boxes or on a shipping container. This is located on another piece of material or a space vehicle or whatever. And then down here on yet another bot is another piece, and this is like a direct rip. Dark Space Halage Logistics, says a left right on it. It's literally the same thing, carbon copied. And then you have this second image where over here, this was posted on September 27th of 2017. There's a couple of like chevrons in this design. And then we go over here and you can see it's the same exact chevron design here on one panel, another chevron design here on the side of a container or whatever this thing is. And then what's even crazier is this panel here over on the right was something that Anti-Real made. This daily series from 9/28/17, which is this series of different icons, of which we see a lot of these icons and symbolism in the game. You see these things kind of everywhere. Over here is a direct, again, carbon copy of those same pieces of imagery. All they've done is mirror them, flip them, something, but it's basically the same exact stuff. And here is even more closer like rendition of it. You can see like this piece of artwork here. That's something that this person had designed like one-to-one. And right here you can see that it's just been mirrored. A lot of this stuff that's being generated is just like mirrored and set slightly differently or in a different order or whatever. but it's literally the exact same art. But no, they didn't just stop there. So if we open up this second panel of images over here on the left, this image here, this long panel with all of these symbols and pieces and parts, this was generated on 9/16/17. Here, I'll pull this away. This was generated on September 16th of 2017 as like what they referred to as glyph map was what they wrote on this. You know, it's very like techno style. And then over here on the right, this top image was from the Marathon press kit that we were provided as content creators. And then down here on the bottom is from the Marathon homepage and marathonthegame.com. And you can see that one-to-one, most of these symbols are almost exact representations of what had been generated over on the left. Now, in some cases, you could say, well, this is just heavily inspired from. Sure. But other pieces and parts of this are directly copied and pasted. And when you then add on that the art director of the entire Bungie franchise follows this person on Twitter, it starts to paint a pretty damning picture. Now, one of the other pieces I've seen here is that this person here, named Reaction Andy, posted that this firm, Kirpa Hosk, which is something that Joseph Cross, the art director for Bungie, had talked about working with, had some of those designs resemble what this person had listed. So Joseph Cross went and has talked about and said that they worked with Kirpa Hosk, the design firm, on aesthetic design for Marathon, for this game from Bungie. And what's interesting is, if in this case, Kirpa Hosk is the piece, or the people that are bogarting artwork from Anti-Real and then providing that to Bungie, either way, somebody's getting stolen from and somebody did the stealing. Whether it was Bungie Direct or if it was Kirpa Hosk that had done it and then referred this like artwork, look at the panels that we made up, etc., then that means the firm that was, I guess, recruited to work with Bungie on design ideas was then also doing a bunch of stealing. So, of course, there can't be any like new and interesting thought from anybody nowadays, right? Either way, I think that, one, Bungie owes everybody an explanation for this video game. I mean, after all, it's a AAA title that has been heavily marketed, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of development money and time that has been spent trying to make this specific IP. And then to find out that the core of what makes Marathon down to the colorization of the game and some of the main artistic elements of the game being taken from a guy that was posting like daily panels on Twitter, being the core of the inspiration for just about everything, is kind of nuts. They owe this dude money. If it's one thing that we know as gamers, we tend to succumb to marketing money being thrown behind something. And this has been put out really, really heavily. In which case, this person, if they're having their art taken from them to be used as a core of this game, they owe them a paycheck, a big fat one. Because this is an IP that we know Bungie is getting behind and they are pushing, and they will be pushing it for years. So as always, we will await a response from Bungie about this piece. I would love to see what they have to say. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and checking out this video. That's all I have for this one, but thank you so much for lending me all of your eyeballs. I appreciate it very much. As always, please sub the channel here if you found this to be informative or interesting, and I suppose I will see you in the next video. Peace.